Watch Vitality take on FaZe.
Wave Punks, thank you very much there, my friend. It is Shogun, it is Dazzlerin, and it is the first, I'm going to say, real North American versus European matchup. We saw Complexity take on earlier on, then more of the South American side. So Daz, this is going to be something special. This is what everyone's been waiting for.
And guess what? If you haven't learned anything so far in this major event, it's that everything that you've learned, throw it out the window when these players take the stage. Vitality versus FaZe on your screen, and we will find the answer to all the questions right here, right now.
Firstkiller has maybe been the most hyped player during the online era. Can he transfer that onto the live stage? I feel like everything I've ever seen from him says yes, but we'll see whether or not that will be the case. Game 1 underway, best of 5, and this is also the last match you're going to see on the mainstream today from the first stage of Swiss. We'll have some round 2 matchups coming to you very soon.
And you need to end this one off at a hot point, especially if you're the North American region right now. As a lot of pressure coming in from Vitality. You see a quick shot come in from Fairy Peak, but easily blocked off from FaZe. Still though, these transitions, gotta look out. Both sides have very strong counterattacks.
Yeah, no region has managed to really assert any dominance thus far. The backboards. It's a good play from Fairy Peak, takes his time, but this is exactly where FaZe want to get you. Fairy Peak though, dancing around everybody. Finding some space. Here's Alpha 54. He might land on it. Tried to go for the chase, but Firstkiller took a bit too much time for himself.
Oh, but look at that.
This is the opportunity. He looks to go low, and Illusion a little bit far forward. Couldn't take it at pace.
And you got to keep an eye on what Illusion is doing over the field, because we know AJ and Firstkiller have that mechanical ability, but how Illusion fits into the play, how he's able to manage everything is going to be crucial, because Vitality will wait for Illusion to be in the wrong spot and pounce on top of that ball.
Yeah, Illusion will be tasked with sort of holding the line as we see the plays coming out from Firstkiller. And it'll be up to him to make sure that he can not only hold it, but make sure he doesn't get demoed at the same time. Pass down to K-Dop. Flips it back into midfield. FaZe have definitely been the more dominant across the field thus far, but that might not last much longer as his Illusion. First real save from him. Not really all that difficult to make, however. So 2 minutes here into game number 1. Fairy Peak looking for the backboard. A quick testing shot. And Firstkiller didn't want to try and go cross-court. That's actually put his team in a bit of danger, though. AJ back into the midfield. Fairy Peak, he gets dunked on. AJ can now try and chase up. Has he got any options to try and pass to? That's going to be dangerous. First one there is going to be Illusion. Oh. What a save, but there's no chance you're keeping that one out. Firstkiller starts the campaign off with his first goal.
And it's that pressure that comes in from FaZe. The testing shot there from Illusion gets the defense all shaken up, and the Firstkiller has an easy shot. You can't give him a free shot like that, because it'll go top left every time.
And I love that he didn't try to lever it first time, because if you do that, it adds so much pace to the ball, so much easier to get the clear with the save. When it's got no pace whatsoever, your options are limited. You can't really get the power to get rid. And now FaZe Clan have got the goal to go along with their territory advantage. Here's first. The first one was easy. The second one looked to have a little bit more flair on it.
At this point, though, you look at Team Vitality, you can expect them to start to kind of understand the flow of things. FaZe definitely have the opening strike here, but I would not doubt Team Vitality's ability to kind of adapt over the pace of the game. We're already halfway through game number 1, and it's only been a goal scored, a couple of crazy shots here and there from FaZe, but nothing too consistent. Vitality have been weathering the storm.
It's been an issue for everybody over in Europe about whether or not we start to doubt Vitality just yet, because even at the record that they're currently at, as we do see the shot come in, good start from AJ. But we've seen Vitality do this before. All the way back in Season 8, they were a game away from relegation. They still went to grand finals of the World Championships. I'm just blanking on how good of a save that really was as we go to the other side of the field. Good block. And they have got rid of the danger.
I mean, you bring up a great point, though. Looking at, like, K-Dop, you can't really doubt him until he's actually out. Then you can make those types of conversations. I've said that for many, many times. But if there's a team that would at least put them on the back foot, I think it is FaZe Clan here. They're already off to a great start. As you see Illusion with a good flick over, follow-up chance. Firstkiller has control. Illusion will help guide it in. FaZe Clan up by 2.
And FaZe Clan are dancing all over Vitality's defense at the moment. Alpha completely misreads the play, makes more contact with the post than he does with the play itself. And FaZe, it's not a rush. This is what I like this time, because FaZe have got a bit of a tendency online where they get too excited, they see the plays going well. Oh no, we've got no boost and no one back. This has been slow build up, taking the chances, stealing the boost, and you're seeing easier goals. They don't have to all be 10 out of 10 bangers.
And then on top of that, if you look at Vitality's defense, you said FaZe aren't rushed. They look rushed on Vitality's
they look
side.
rushed, but they're slower.
Right. How does that work out?
Ask them, not me. As we do get back into this. 1 minute left. Pass to K-Dop. It was a little bit behind him, so he can't collect really the way he wanted to. Midfield pass off. 45 seconds left in this game. And that was a big chance. A lot of time now gone for Vitality. Even if they get control of this again, it'll be roughly 30 seconds left. That's wasteful from K-Dop. First killer, he's in no rush whatsoever. He doesn't need to. He's not seeing a blue card for a while.
It's a free ball.
And Vitality, if you're going to make a series out of this, you've got to be more on point than that.
You can't give up these free balls to this team. Like I said, these are the most mechanical players in North America. They will definitely take that possession and play it away from you. If they have boost, you're in danger. If not, you're still going to have a tough time, and that is exactly what's going on. It's the final 10 seconds countdown. Vitality it just seems like they can't get anything going.
Vitality need to get a read on this. It's something that they are very good at doing because they've never necessarily been the fastest team, but they are very good at knowing where they have to be next. Right now, they had absolutely no idea where they needed to be next.
And you know, for me, it's one of the things where FaZe Clan shows just how fast they play. They come out of the gate swinging here. They push Vitality to the brink of defense, but they don't necessarily overall dominate the game. Yes, they do end up leading. They barely even lead in shot totals. Vitality snuck in a lot of different shots over the course of that game, but I think that there's still potential for Vitality to kind of get back into things, Shogun.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. That definitely looked like the typical first game at LAN that we have seen thus far from a lot of our veterans, as you heard our wonderful desk mention earlier. And speaking of our wonderful desk, take a look at that Dazarin. This entire place looks phenomenal.
It does.
And tell you what, FaZe Clan also look phenomenal, not only in their jerseys, but with the gameplay that they have brought for us thus far. Can Vitality join them at that level? Because what I've seen so far, Dazarin, I don't think that FaZe kind of going to drop. Vitality need to start stepping up.
Right, that is the thing here. Vitality have definitely been playing a more kind of defensive, passive-based game. They got to get things back into the right foot, kind of demand more control in that midfield area, start building up on offense, look to Alpha to see if he can break past FaZe. As right now, FaZe, they've been controlling the pace of play.
The Alpha's always very much been the pendulum of the rotation. As K-Dop goes for the shot first time. And even from there, he is always dangerous. K-Dop, the most prolific shooter that Europe has ever produced. Can't do much shooting, though, when he's been removed from the field just like that. AJ booming the ball. Even more demos, though. We saw 5 demos per game being the stat. FaZe Clan thinking that those are rookie lump numbers thus far. Good pass over to the far side. This is the big chance. And Vitality, this is one of the big issues they've had thus far. They're rotating on the same side of the field. When they get those passes, you can't race after it. That ball is going to go quicker than you are.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're bunched up right now on defense. K-Dop trying to stretch just to get to that ball. And we've seen this happen. It happened a little bit in early stages in Game 1. It's happening now here in Game 2. And you brought up a great point. If someone's trying to pass midfield, you won't be able to get to that ball in time. A good shot from AJ, but still not good enough. Defense from Vitality will get that cleared out. But in terms of offense, you can still see where the work needs to be done.
Alpha trying to challenge on the pace. He's doing well thus far. First killer has options in the midfield. AJ's waiting for it. He's there. And K-Dop able to just take the shot away, take the sizzle out of it. Very peak one-on-one. Just an early jump from him. Wanted to avoid being demoed. First killer off the backboard. Can't follow, but AJ can. And AJ almost turning it in. K-Dop definitely at the forefront of the majority of the defense thus far. Vitality, after starting well, they're in a difficult position right now. Needs to gain control of those midfield boosters. His first killer, once again, good blocks. FaZe Clan, they need to start changing this up a little bit. The infield pass is a bit too obvious.
Right, and you can see Vitality starting to get a read on. You saw the cut from Fairy Peak in the play before. You're seeing it a little bit now. They're starting to get to this ball before it gets out of the box, because if you give AJ space, like we saw on one of the earlier plays, he was almost able to score that with just so much time. Even K-Dop getting into the air much faster as we approach the halfway point in Game 2. But First Killer tried to do it all himself, just barely missing the mark.
That was First Killer's version of an infield pass. It means that he went into the middle of the field and decided to try and score. There's the drop down. First Killer holds the midfield line. Good drop, actually. This is a nice opportunity now for Vitality to escape, but they've got to try and take it. Lucian plays the ball back, gives himself some range of motion, and now Vitality are in a lot of trouble. Low boost for K-Dub. He's finally back into it. And he clears back to the midfield, but Vitality is still under threat.
Yeah, and you can see even Fairy Peak, that double commit in the net, very dangerous, very risky, I should say. K-Dub had to bail the team out of there. Looked like it would have been a FaZe Clan goal. Again, they've been keeping the ball on this blue half for most of the game. They haven't been able to score, but at some point, this one's going to go in. Lucian, a high ball, follow-up blocked out. Vitality barely getting by.
They've kept it out for the time being, but you won't do that for too long in Rocket League. Lucian bumped away from the play. Vitality still don't have a follow-up. That was their big chance to get free. One of the first times that FaZe wasn't immediately on the pressure. Still not able to do anything, but despite all of these criticisms, it's still 0-0. Vitality have managed to weather the storm, and now Fairy Peak looks to the first-time shot. First killer's being bullied. No way to keep that one out.
And Vitality, they hold on defense and strike when the time is right. Like you said, K-Dop off the ball, sees first killer, removes him from the play. Vitality strike first in game 2.
1-0. Vitality, finally, looking like they've got their feet back under them. Oh, that's fantastic. Fairy Peak not only avoids the dunk, but also avoids first killer, who was waiting for his opportunity to move in. Flick up. Boost seems to be a premium across both teams.
I mean, with these players, you're not going to get a lot of boosts. You got to fight for every single pad on that field.
AJ now looks to fight his way to the other side. Good flick. He's got no follow. I was hoping maybe Lucian was on that far side. Oh, Fairy skies right past it. I like Fairy's positioning thus far, but weirdly, this is the first time I'm going to criticize Fairy's hits.
Yeah.
He's whiffing an awful lot. Just seems a little bit uncomfortable.
It's some whiffs. It's some double commits as well, I've noticed. AJ's not going to be able to grab that. That's a double commit from FaZe. I mean, this is just everybody's jumbling up in this corner. At some point, somebody's got to get this cleared out. But Vitality, at this point, they've been playing defense all game long. They're completely content to hold on to this 1-goal lead for the remaining 30 seconds. Somehow, they have just prevented FaZe from getting on the board, and now Alpha looking to try to bring it the other way.
20 seconds left. It's not been the most exciting game of Rocket League we've ever seen, but it's what Vitality have needed thus far. Can they hold the line for 15 more seconds? This is the first time we've really seen the ball stuck in the orange side of the field for more than 10 seconds, really. AJ clears it. And if I'm going to criticize what K-Dop did earlier on about wasting a possession, that one's very much going to go into the same category. Just levered it straight at the defense. And Vitality have got their first game of the LAN.
And what do you know? Vitality, even though FaZe Clan seemed to have all the pressure for the majority of that game, they were able to do nothing with it, pretty much. Vitality had 2 shots over the course of that game, and only one of them was scored. It was by Fairy Peak, of course. This is going to be something that's going to be very tough for FaZe to be able to deal with, because they pretty much had everything that they wanted. They had all the possession, they had the ball out in front, but they couldn't do anything with it. It took a counterattack, and now they end up giving up a game. They really have to start to change their strategy.
Well, that is certainly the result that Vitality wanted. But I'll tell you what, a result that everybody wanted to hear was Renegades winning earlier on. And to talk about that Orb is CJ.
All right, we are back in the Swiss Abyss, this time with CJ from Renegades. Beating Endpoint 3-1, how did that feel?
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, to take down the EU #1 seed is awesome, and I think that that win really just goes out to all the the OCE fans, the OCE supporters. I think that we sort of get doubted a lot as a region, and to sort of take out the EU #1 seed first up was awesome. So thank you so much to all the support from everyone who still believes in the OCE region.
Talk about a great start. Congratulations on that. Now the game we're watching right here, Vitality versus FaZe. Thoughts on that? You had some predictions that you said to me earlier, but what were those?
Yeah, look, I got FaZe 3-1. I think that they're in form at the moment, so I really think that they're, maybe NA superior. I don't know. Maybe we took that EU #1 seed, but maybe it's just the season of the minor regions. But I got FaZe in this one. I think they've got the skill, the ability.
There's a beautiful story there, the story of the minor regions, the smaller regions, stepping up to the big plate and doing what needs to be done. We're going to send it back. The next game is about to begin, so casters, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Orb. And 3-1, I'll tell you what, that's not the worst prediction that I've ever heard. As Vitality, yes, did get that game, but they have not really held that much control over either of the games we've seen thus far.
That's true. And, you know, just to kind of back up on CJ's point, if he's calling NA a minor region and that means they also win, then I'll just take that. That's totally fine. At least we're winning.
I'll tell you what, from what I've seen today, being a minor region does not mean much of anything anymore.
It really doesn't.
This has been the parity that we've wanted to see over in Rocket League. There's an awful lot of us thinking that, you know, maybe a couple of years without live, you know, games without live scrims against, you know, the other regions might put some of these regions further behind, as they were just starting to catch up before we had to go online, as First Killer does give his team a bit of good positioning. But no, it seems like that time online has helped everybody out in a bit of a way.
Yeah, it does. It seems like, you know, you look at all the regions coming into the event that aren't NA and EU, they're hungry to prove themselves. Meanwhile, it seems like the opposite is going on. These guys in North America and Europe, it seems like they're nervous because they've been put on a pedestal, so to speak. But that pedestal is slowly getting pushed away, just like the defensive vitality. First Killer with the first goal.
Yeah, just kicked the legs from under him. Illusion, very annoyed that they lost the last game off a bump on First Killer. Gives them the receipt. And that is the first goal for FaZe Clan.
That's something you expect, though, from a team like FaZe. If they can't play around you, the next step, play through you. And I think that that's exactly the kind of idea that they're going to look for, being so much more aggressive.
Well, from the pace that we've seen from Vitality, yes, the rotation is very solid. Actually, fake out from the first one. But when you do play at that pace, yes, your rotation becomes very good. You're not going to double commit quite so much, but it does mean that you're static on the goal line. And you become very, very open towards a demo, towards being bumped. And that's something that FaZe are going to start honing in on.
At this point, Team Vitality, a response here. Going to be one worth paying attention to. They might end up getting one. You see a little bit of a double commit there by FaZe to try to get that one out of their own end, but it's still not stopping Vitality. They've been much more aggressive on the offensive end in the opener of this Game 3.
But I do like that. An air dribble, something a bit different. Vitality have been by the numbers thus far. I'm sure any coach's dream to see how Vitality have been playing, but when you're at this level, you can't just get away with the, you know, solid foundations. You need to add something different. AJ, that's a lot of power given the position he was in. Fairy Peak, desperate to just cling the ball towards the wall, make sure that no one can follow up, but still struggling. Lucian just diving straight through the challenge. Fairy Peak's gone at least temporarily. K-Dop needs to follow himself. Always difficult from that corner. Crunching challenge wins. Fairy Peak to K-Dop. Can he lay it back over? Fairy Peak's up! And thus, so is First Killer.
Good block out, too, from First Killer. This battle for the midfield between Vitality and FaZe Clan has been very tense. Lots of infield passes like the one we're seeing there. Alpha gets the 50 win. Is there going to be a follow-up? There's not. AJ on that back wall quick to make sure he gets that one cleared away.
Now First Killer. He's out of boost, out of options. AJ, a little bit of a nothing hit from him. That's not really the worst thing ever right now. Vitality's clear is not as strong as they were used to seeing them. Drop down to Alpha. There's the clear that they need. Now need to control the midfield boosts, but anything you can do, we can hit the ball just as hard. FaZe back in territory. I've been looking for the pass off here. Drop over. Nobody over on that side from Vitality.
It gets tense here on DFH. The way you see these guys constantly trading the ball around, whether it's looking for the infield passes, looking for a quick shot on, they're pretty locked in. And the way things are looking, Vitality, they're going to need something extra. Maybe that extra demo to take a page out of their early Game 2 book if they want to get past FaZe Clan, because FaZe Clan have been matching their pace so far.
Yeah, maybe that player that goes forward. Like Alpha right now. Now start looking around, maybe take out the third man. You're not needed immediately. The defense is solid from Vitality. Just give your team a little bit of breathing room as we have the last minute and 20 on the clock. FaZe currently in prime position to put themselves onto match point. AJ, can he get the follow-up? Oh, he's just a little bit far beyond. K-Dop has got Alpha just ahead of him. Very looking to follow. Again, straight over to Illusion, who has done a great job holding the line over in that midfield.
Oh, that's scary.
Oh, there you go. Fairy wanted to try and hit Illusion. There's a little bit more of that Vitality need. Here's the setup. Can't quite get it. Illusion back to the corner. Fairy Peak sees the time on the clock, knows that he needs to start creating something,
50.
but none of these challenges are going for Vitality. First Killer gets away. He's on zero boost. Boost doesn't turn up. Alpha. Is anyone going to challenge him? They realize that that's a losing bet, but if you try and wait for him to come back down, then you can get it away from him. K-Dop looks to get it himself. Straight back to first killer. 30 seconds left.
This possession game is really tight here. You can see every time Vitality tries to get out of their own end, someone is there for FaZe to make it a little bit hard. They've been so close, but FaZe have done a great job rotating. That pinch is also going to kill a lot more time on the clock. Vitality don't have that many drives left, and now they got to make a defensive stand. It's a free ball for first killer. What's he going to do with it? Gets the flip reset, looks for the bump, it goes straight down, but maybe a transition play. Alpha's up, but so is Illusion. Still trying to get a 50. Final few seconds here between game 3. Can Vitality keep this ball up? Fairy Peak is going to try, but this one looks like it's going to hit the ground, and it will with that touch. FaZe Clan go up in the series.
I don't know if you at home heard it, but I certainly did. There was a roar
I heard that.
from FaZe. They want this. I'll tell you what, thus far, they are doing exactly what they need. This has been an exceptionally disciplined performance from FaZe Clan. It's something I'm just not used to saying about them. But it's relaxed. They're playing the clock. That last game, Vitality were the ones that needed to score, but we barely even saw the orange side of the field at the last minute and a half.
And again, it goes back to the rotations from FaZe. They look really well done here. I'm very impressed by it because, like you said, it's something that we aren't used to seeing. The discipline that is pushed in to make sure that they don't double commit has been very on form. It looks like everybody has equal space and they're playing together as a team. It's going to be tough here for Vitality on match point. Game number 4, FaZe Clan lead the series 2-1.
Vitality, I like the ideas still. I think they've got good ones, as that shot from Fairy Peak is going to sort of emphasize the point I want to make right now. The ideas are good, the positioning is good, the contact on the ball is not.
That's true. Especially, I mean, we've seen it be shaky over the entire series. Some touches from Fairy Peak, some non-touches from both Fairy Peak and K-Dop, just, uncharacteristic whiffs coming out. They've really had to build that back up over the course of the series. They've ended up dropping games because of it. So, yeah, now they're finally getting, they're connecting with the ball, but they aren't connecting with each other.
Oh, here's a great connection. One pass over to the other. First killer looking to find some sort of dunk. K-Dop desperate for a challenge. There's always jump a little bit too early. Here's first killer. That's what you want to see from him. We've seen the discipline. Now we see what makes first killer so special.
The solo play from first killer. Once the ball's on the hood, you're in trouble. Beautiful execution, pushing it towards that top right corner. FaZe is here to play, and so is first.
And Vitality back to a 1-goal deficit yet again. And FaZe can go back to what they've been doing so well. His first killer, 2-0.
Are you kidding me? First killer coming up again. This one right off of the kickoff, wasting no time getting it to the air. A great read on the pinch. I said top right last goal. This one's top left.
That one didn't even need to be that good, but first killer hits the top corner because he can.
Just simply because he can.
Sometimes you can just look at a player's name and realize that they do it because they are a level above. K-Dop with Alpha in the midfield. No real way of doing it. Would have needed to curve the car around that ball a little bit more. Here's the ball over to Illusion. Heavy first touch from him. AJ's got it past 2, but first killer. Here's where he plays best. Just waits for it. Plays the ball up the wall. He's got Illusion on the far side. Has he found him? Oh, has he ever? Looks to keep it going.
Flip reset.
Oh, dearie me. I love the ideas. And if FaZe Clan have ever got confidence, this is certainly the time to get it.
Yeah, this confidence, this momentum. It's going to be really tough for Vitality to shut this down.
Yeah.
These guys are connecting well. They're finding each other in transition. It's great.
All I would say is don't go too far with it. The compliment we've had is the discipline. And plays like that, if they go wrong, there's a 2v1 waiting to happen. So for FaZe, it looks brilliant. Just make sure it's at the right time. You know just how lethal Vitality can be when they get the shooting going. Unfortunately for them, we haven't really seen any of it. Fairy down to K-Dop again. That's the sort of play you want to run onto if you're K-Dop. And it limited his options on the shooting angles. Drop it down again. This is one of the better passes that we've seen. Gonna need more of that though. K-Dop off the wall to Fairy Peak, off the backboard. Mercy Alpha was trying to rotate back. Illusion skims all the way past. Now looks for the goalkeeper. It's off. And required K-Dop's help. Half the game left to play. FaZe starting to get closer and closer. It's not only making CJ right, it's putting themselves into the winner's side of round 2.
Vitality's still trying. You can see that they're getting a little bit more scrappy. They're competing more for the ball in midfield, but is it too late? They're already down by 2. 2:15 on the clock. They're trying again. Alpha, though, comes up empty. And those are the type of drives we might end up looking back on. That's a good shot, and that's going to be a goal.
You said they were playing scrappier. I want to see them playing scrappier. It's been too clean thus far. But you can sort this out by going in for it. And if this being clean has not worked, it's time to now start playing FaZe's game, because discipline's not quite there. FaZe have been the more disciplined. FaZe have had the better rotations, but can FaZe play when you want to throw everything at them?
That's the question, and they surely did that on Team Vitality. Alpha just diving in there. That's exactly what you want to see from them.
First, will he pass it back to AJ? Or, you know he wanted it, but started to realize the bad position. Fairy Peek's on the far side, pre-jump! Oh, let's go! Vitality have awoken!
Pre-jump off the play. You see Alpha going up early. Fairy Peek wastes no time in the air. Full team trust for Vitality to tie.
This is the other side of Vitality. Get rid of boring Vitality. Get pre-jump Peek back onto the field. Wait for the ball to come to him. And now, as hype as we've got Dazza in, they still need another.
They do. If they want to force Game 5, we need a little bit more pre-jump Peek, Showdown.
Well, it's his chance. It's over to K-Dop. Always going to be a difficult angle to turn that in from, but Alpha's already going for it. This is much more confident from Vitality. Oh. He's almost got it. Oh, 0 boost meant that he couldn't quite get there in time. Although he's passed it back off to Alpha. Still low boost. Alpha's still refusing to go back.
Look at this. They have FaZe stuck on their own end. They finally get it into the midfield now, and now we see AJ trying to get some footwork going. But still, Vitality looked so much stronger in that push. They completely turned the momentum around from the opener from FaZe, and now they're competing. We're tied up a final minute to see whether or not Vitality can force Game 5.
AJ looking to kill off the hype. And unfortunately, Alpha just far too strong in the midfield. He's beat them off the backboard. First killer. Well read off the backboard. Made sure that no danger was coming his way. Seeing a much more air-focused Olution as well. We were expecting him to sort of be the holder over in the midfield, but that confidence has clearly seeped over to him as well. Fairy Peek, booming clear. It's one of the better ones I've seen. Put it behind AJ. It's only just meaning that your opponents can run straight onto it. First killer. Can he follow? Realizes that he would have been second best to Fairy. Decides to just stick around for the second chance. 0 boost for Fairy. He's going to require some help from the rest of his team. He needs Alpha to not overcommit to this. A little bit of boost, infield pass off the backboard. Difficult position for Alpha as AJ, one more time! FaZe Clan! To you, to me, to the net!
Look at that, beautiful. AJ finding first killer, Olution, they're blocking the shot, they don't see the pass, and AJ sealed this series.
2 seconds. Vitality have got to find an outstanding play. And it's not gonna happen. FaZe Clan have taken the series.
Unbelievable. FaZe Clan came out, they played their game, they forced Vitality to adapt to their own style, but in the end, all the changes, they just could not keep up. This FaZe Clan, it was here to prove something, and boy did they with their first series.